Hello and welcome, you join me, ADG, and here we are for round 2, or race 2 of the MRC GTTCC, and we're all in the group 4 cars. We've all picked our second car, hopefully, for this race, and it's a half an hour race at the Nurburgring GP. So just a quick little reference, the qualifying, the starting order, should I say, is a reverse grid, so it's a reverse of the finishing positions from the last race round. Anyway, I'll quickly go through the order we're going to be starting in. So we'll jump to MRC CJW Racing in the BMW on pole for the second race. Rocky Rich 38 in the Honda NSX in second place. Ajax in third in the Honda NSX. ADG 123 in the Honda NSX in fourth place. C Winkle is going to be starting in fifth in the Ford Mustang. Sixth place is Mutt 36 in the BMW M4. Haz is going to be starting in seventh in the BMW as well. Edwin is in eighth place in the Honda NSX. Robust the Hood is in ninth in the Honda as well. Ginger Crackhead is also in the Honda NSX, nice little leaf on the back of his car there. And Bales Tonovic in 11th, finished second in race 1, is in the Nissan GTR. And then we have winner of race 1 at Autopolis, B rated, which is going to be starting right at the back, the disadvantage of winning race 1. So without much further ado, we will get underway and watch the race. I do want to catch a bit of this because I had quite a good moment here. So we see CJW get a good start, Ajax getting a good start, Rocky Rich not so good a start, so I managed to get past him before we even started breaking into T1, and you see me going round the outside into T1 because I had nowhere else to go, so I managed to get it done, made it work, and I managed to get myself up into first place. CJW now down in second, Ajax in third, Mutt in fourth, Edwin following very closely in fifth. Everyone looking to get through the first couple of corners nice and cleanly and get the race underway. Ginger Crackhead in seventh, Bales Tonovic in eighth already, so he's already made up a couple of places. B rated down to ninth now. Rocky Rich, which started in third place, actually down into 10th, so didn't quite handle the pressure that he needed to. Robert Sood in 11th and has 91, finds himself in 12th on the about halfway through the first lap. So we see Robus ahead in the NSX going side by side with Rocky Rich, taking the place off him and getting 10th place there. Looks like we've got B rated right on the back of Bales Tonovic as well. They've already made a few places up, these two. B rated started right at the back, so he's up 3 or 4 places already. And we see Robert Hood diving down the inside. Robert manages to get it done. Keeps it nice and clean and tidy on the exit and keeps the position. So see 2 consecutive fast overtakes from Robert Hood there. Gets himself up into 9th place, good work. Got a few position changes going on a bit further down. Bale being chased, getting caught by Bale there. Oh, I messed up there, don't know what I'm on about. Ginger Crackhead. It's all going on. Gets a good run on Mutt as they come out of the last corner. So, nope, sorry. Oh yeah, it was the last corner. A bit confusing. So there's a bunch developing at the front, which are kind of pulling away already. There's 5 of us, and then a bit of a gap to Mutt, but he's just closed that up actually, so he's a bit closer now to Ginger Crackhead, and C Winkle's right on his tail as well, so 7 cars are all pretty close together. Unfortunately, there's a few people that seem to have dropped back. Robust now up into 8th, was in 9th a second ago, last time we checked in on him. Bales Tonovic in 9th now. B rated in 10th. So we'll try and stick with the action, just trying to give you some idea of what everyone's challenges of the race and where they've ended up finding themselves after the first lap or two. So we'll just try and stick with the action from that one. So we've got Robust the Hood right on the back of C Winkle with a good run. Going to go to the inside. I think there was a little touch there on the bumper, so he lost any kind of momentum he had. Did Robust. Trying to run it side by side on the exit, but can't quite get the power down early enough. Gets a look at the inside line through the tight sweeping right-hander. Struggling to get my words out, do forgive me. And then heavy on the brakes, up into 7th there for Robertson. Another good overtake, so doing a good job straight away. We'll skip forward, as you can see a penalty in front from CJW. Now in 4th place, pulls over to the right hand side and rightly so to lose his penalty. So Ginger Crackheads takes another place and gets himself up into 4th. Looks like Edwin's about to attempt to go down the inside of Ajax as well. Doesn't quite get it done on the brakes, so has to hesitate and slots back in behind and retains his 3rd place. All this at the moment is playing into my hands, being in 1st place. I'm getting a bit of a chance to run away. So we see Edwin again, side by side with Ajax, but does not quite get it done on the exit again. Mid-corner, he found himself in a bit of a bad position, so I had to give Ajax some room back. So he's clearly quicker at this point in the race as Edwin, but Ajax is doing a good job of holding on to it. The problem with that being is I'm having a chance to just pull away and drive away in the front there. We'll stick with that, it seems pretty close. So we've got Edwin really chasing Ajax closely. Right in the slipstream. Nurburgring is it's not a track with that many long straights really. There's a few straights, but for the slipstream effect to really start taking place, it doesn't really seem to happen that much on this track. It does to a degree, but doesn't seem to buy you big time. So we've got a little breakaway group now of Ajax, Edwin and Ginger Crackhead. As we see Edwin and Ajax still fighting away. Looks like Edwin's got it this time round, down the inside. Goes a little bit wide mid-corner, but he manages to keep it tucked into enough to the inside that Ajax couldn't come back at him. So good overtake there from Edwin up into 2nd. And he can try and pull a gap now on Ajax once he gets through this 1st corner and sees how it goes, make sure that Ajax isn't coming back at him. And we also see Ginger Crackhead there taking 3rd place off Ajax, so just a momentary thing as Ajax still retains it with the line, but he's struggling for pace. Just got a little bit in the way of Ginger Crackhead then, didn't quite read it right and just touched the back of him. That's not what we call dirty racing, that's just a little mistake. They do happen. At the end of the day, we all try and be clean, but these things do happen to the best of us. So long as we're not hitting people off the track, that's the main thing. So we've got B rated up into 6th now, doing a really good job coming from the back. I've missed a few overtakes by the look of it because B rated wasn't that high up last time I looked. So he's right on the back of Mutt now as well, challenging. C Winkle dropped back a little bit from them. Robust the Hood, I don't know what's happened to him because he had a really good start, started climbing the order really quite quickly, and now he's found himself in 10th at this point in the race. We're on board with Haz at the moment, with Bales Tonovic in front. Everyone fighting away. Don't forget these guys, some of these guys towards the back, Haz 91, Robust the Hood, they all did really well in race 1. So they've definitely got the pace, they're not slow guys. They might not be in their optimal car though, if you like, so that's something to bear in mind. Winkle doing a good job of keeping a gap away from those guys behind Haz and the rest of them. So we've got B rated right on the back of Mutt, looking to carry the slipstream all the way down the straight and have an opportunity into T1. It's hard to get the braking done and be nice and neat and tidy into T1 and know that you're actually going to be able to do it with a bit of confidence. It's always a bit worrying if you ask me. Doing a good job though, so B rated does manage to get past there and takes the place off Mutt for 5th place. Mutt seems like he's having a good race though, it's nothing to worry about, he's just lost the position. It's just an opportunity to try and stay on the back of one of the fastest guys now and see what he can do. But we can see B rated having a good race going through from the back. Bale Stonovic has got a bit of pressure on from Robert, and equally Robert has got Haz right behind him. There's a few position changes going on here by the look of it, but they're sticking together, these three. So we'll skip back up to the top. I'll give myself a little bit of coverage. I've pulled away now, built quite a nice little lap on lap 5. I've got no one right behind me to worry about basically. Edwin's now passed into 2nd place though, and he was actually catching me, so slowly but surely I had to pay more attention and be careful about putting in those crucial lap times. We see Edwin there with 1:59.689, so it's going quickly on lap 4. Ginger Crackhead, he's dropped off the back a little bit now. Edwin's managed to lose him a little bit. Ajax doing a good job, looks like he's catching Ginger Crackhead now. Looks like he's closing in on him to me. What is wrong with me? I can't get my words out. Can I just say, whilst there's not that much action going on, really good racing from everyone this week. Just keep it up and we should have a really good championship. Oh, a bit of contact there from B rated, but nothing to worry about. I could actually be wrong with that because there is the curb that you can almost skip down. So he might have just skipped down the curb and it might have made it look like contact from this angle. And go on board, and I said this in race 1, if you watch the replay, it gives you a real perspective of how close the racing is when you go on board with the guys. Sometimes it doesn't quite do it justice when you're watching from the outside, especially when you're considering braking and the speed you're going. Get up to about 150, 160 on the long straights, some of the tracks for these cars, so they're not slow. When you're hitting the brakes, it's you have to be pretty heavy on them, so you know it can go quite easily wrong if you're not careful. But everyone proven they're capable of doing a good job this week. Got Mutt still chasing away, doing well to stick with B rated. He's already showing his quick coming through from the back. Oh, good time to join. Roberts the Hood's right on the back of Winkle. He's looking for 7th place, is Roberts now. You can see the guys ahead pulling away from him. He needs to get past Winkle to try and catch up to them, otherwise he's going to have a difficult race from this point on. They both go a little bit scrappy over the curbs with alternative lines. Roberts manages to get a good drive out of the last chicane, puts it side by side into the last corner and manages to outbrake. See Winkle, gets past him nicely there with a good clean overtake. Good job from Roberts, up into 7th place. See how Winkle approaches a little fight back, see if he has a chance at all. Roberts will be pleased about that one though, it's just released him to try and catch the guys in front of him now. And with 3 of them being so close together, as you can see going on in front, they're all holding each other up slightly, especially through that section. It can be a bit slow and clumsy if you're not careful when you're following closely with each other through that section, that first sector. So we see Ajax going for a dive down the inside. Little touch on B-rated, nothing too much, but there was a little bit of contact there by the look of it. B-rated dropping back into 5th, and now he's got Mutt down his inside, so looking to take a shallow defensive line to close Mutt off, but it didn't work. And Mutt's managed to get past up into 5th place. And as we can see, Roberts has just got right on the back of B-rated as well now, so they're definitely slowing each other down and giving Roberts a chance to come back into this race. Winkle's dropped off a little bit. I don't know if he's had a little bit of an incident there somewhere, but dropped off the back of Roberts a little bit. But this is probably the best of our action going on. So we see Haz and Bales Tonovic having a good race, but unfortunately they're towards the back when they're doing that. Rocky Rich going round on his own, unfortunately, not having the best race again. But hopefully Rocky Rich is the kind of type of character that'll grin and bear it, maybe learn from his mistakes and try and get a bit more practice in and try a bit harder next week, and hopefully see him climbing the board. It'd be nice to see. So Robos still challenging B-rated, pretty much side by side down the straight by the look of it. Oh, definitely 3 wide, but 4 cars going through T1, which is an extremely tight corner. If you ever raced at Nurburgring, you'll know what I'm on about. And that was pretty good. It looked like there was a little bit of contact there, but again, for 4 cars and 3 cars being actually side by side through that corner, that was pretty good going. It looks like Robos is the big winner out of that as well, so he's got himself up into 5th, so he's managed to get past Mutt and B-rated pretty quickly with all the battling that's been going on. He's made the opportunities work and taking those opportunistic moves when he's seen them in front of him. Again, good livery from everyone going to the effort of putting a decent car together, so it looks good on these replays and when we're racing together. Everyone has a sponsor in this season that's given to us at the beginning of the season, so you have to plaster that all over your car, but other than that you can do whatever you like with your decals and your livery. So good clean racing, good respectable stuff, but there's a bit of a train developing now behind Ajax. Roberts is looking to get past 2 wheels on the grass as he tries it. He's found himself on the outside now for the heavy braking of the tight chicane towards the end of the lap. Oh, a bit of bump in there as they all bunch up a bit. This is good racing though. It's all as clean as it can be when you're racing so clean. No one's racing maliciously, not doing anything malicious. Ajax must be feeling the pressure now. Roberts has actually dropped Mutt off a little bit there, so he's gained a little bit of breathing space. Roberts now down the inside. Oh, unfortunate bit of contact as he went a little bit wide, and the line that Ajax had taken always meant that they were going to collect each other a little bit there, unless they were very, very careful, but unfortunately there was a little tap. Good job damage isn't on. So Roberts takes 4th place, and he's worked hard in those last couple of laps to do that. Some good racing and some good overtaking, quite aggressive stuff at times, but he's trying to fight his way up the field at the end of the day, so he can't just afford to sit there and wait for the opportunities all the time. So Ajax now down into 5th. He'll be a little bit gutted about that one, I should think, but it's not race over. There's still more than 10 minutes left of this race, so he's still got the opportunity to come back at Robus and certainly try and stick with him, if not try and get past him again. Watching B-rated now on board with him. Doesn't seem to be able to close any gap on the straights in the GTR. Doesn't seem to have the straight line speed on the NSX as we could see there. We'll see again down here. We'll watch him down this straight as well. Just make sure there's no action going on behind. So see Winkle with a little bit of a penalty, so he pulls over He was in 7th place, but Mutt then inherits 7th place because of that, so that's a lucky one for Mutt. And unlucky for Seawinkle picking up the penalty. Ajax goes incredibly deep into that last chicane, gets it all wrong, and finds himself losing too much time. So B-rated just gets the chance to drive past basically. So B-rated up into 5th. Again, don't forget B-rated started in 12th position, right at the back. So doing a really good job to come all the way through the field. Ajax now looking for a chance to get back in. B-rated gone defensive to the inside. Ajax not giving up, he's trying the outside line, gives him the inside line for the next corner. Feels really slow when you drive through that second corner. He manages to get it done though, so Ajax is back up into 5th. It's a good race going on between these guys. While all this is happening though, Robert the Hood has just driven away in 4th position, so it's all working in the favour of Robus. Oh, Mutt goes for a bit of a late dive, if I dare say so there, and ploughs into the side of B-rated. B-rated will be getting slightly frustrated with all these little touches and knocks, I would imagine. But some awesome racing going on in the last 5 or 6 laps between all these guys in the mid-pack. Should be proud of yourself. This is what it's all about at the end of the day. I bet you were frustrated at times, but I bet you, at the end of the race, I bet you thought, I might not have had the result that I wanted, but that was a bloody brilliant race. Because it was so close between you guys the whole race. It gets you pumped, gets your adrenaline going when you're this close, or lap after lap after lap. It does also frustrate you, because it does make you think, what have I got to do to get past this guy? So Seawinkle, after a little bit of a penalty, he had to slow down on the straight and lose that, so unfortunately he dropped back a little bit, but it looks like he's closing back in on this little battle, so hopefully he'll get himself involved. There's still just less than 10 minutes left of the race, so he should still be able to get involved so long as he keeps it nice and clean, because they'll all be slowing each other down slightly with all these defensive lines and overtaking manoeuvres going on. Bale's Tonovic's not actually too far behind now as well, so if something drastic goes on in front, there's definitely some places to be made for Bale, and even has, whilst I say that. Rocky Rich is pretty much having his own race, but still probably enjoying himself, and good on him for continuing. I know it's not easy driving around on your own for a full race at the back. I've done it myself plenty of times, and it's not the most fun, but it's all part of racing. You have to take the rough with the smooth. No one has good races all the time, believe me. Well, I certainly don't, but I don't think anyone ever has or ever will do. So Has seems to have been struggling a little bit since the beginning of this race, and I dare say Bale as well. It seemed like they made up some good ground at the beginning, and then they've struggled since, really. So it seems a bit unfortunate, but I guess it's just that's the demon of using the second car. It's quite clear during this championship that the Nissan, not Nissan, I always say Nissan, the Honda NSX should be pretty much the strongest car, so the people basically in the NSX for any given race have more or less got the best opportunity to be up there, and everyone else is left fighting for the scraps. Not necessarily the case, but more often than not, just because of the car being so not overpowered, but it just seems so manageable. There's the NSX, and really quite quick everywhere, out of the corners, on the straights. It's probably not the quickest, but just a good all-rounder. This is the start of a rivalry. I could almost I could almost put money on saying that. Not the fact that there's a bit of contact, just the fact that these guys have been racing for 23 minutes now, pretty much. I know B-rated came through the field a bit, so maybe not 23 minutes, but for quite a long time, B-rated and Ajax have been battling away. B-rated's got past a few times, and then Ajax has managed to get back past him again. So it's good stuff. And we'll pop in on the guys towards the front in a second and see what they're up to. But it's a good little battle going on, providing us with some good action here to watch. Oh, Bale has dropped off the back a little bit more now than it looked like it was a lap or two ago. So we'll skip right up to the top. Well, no, we'll stick with Ajax as he's getting attacked by Mutt from behind. Manages to keep the place and keeps his 6th position. This is close stuff though, because of that move from Mutt though. He's lost a little bit of pace, and now Seawinkle's right up behind him. So one little move or a failed overtake that ends up losing you a bit of time, and you've got a lot more pressure from behind all of a sudden, as well as not getting the overtake done, so not getting any further forward. So it's almost worth really considering where you overtake in situations like this and not going for every single corner or anything. Seawinkle, let's see if he goes for it. Nope. It is a risky one to dive down the inside into T1 at Nurburgring. It is a really tight corner and a very difficult corner to get it stopped for with the downhill braking. Anyway, we see B-rated now. He's had a little time to himself just to pull a bit of gap without anyone right on his tail to defend her. So he's done a good job with that little opportunity he's had in the last lap or two, and he's managed to pull away a little bit. So I dare say he's got 2 hands on 5th place there. Anyway, Robust is up into 4th, putting in some good lap times. If you look on the right hand side there, he's going pretty quickly. Driving around on his own though at the moment, no one really behind him or in front. Ginger Crackhead doing a really good job. He's on the back of Edwin. Edwin, I hadn't actually seen it during the replay, as you might have noticed, but Edwin was catching me really quite quickly. He got right up behind me, and then I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he dropped back again. So it was a massive relief to me being in 1st place, and I didn't have him right behind me anymore. But it obviously dropped him back, and it was all of a sudden in the grasp of Ginger Crackhead. So having to go defensive now on the last corner to try and keep his 2nd position as Ginger looks for a chance to get past. He does well being a crackhead and racing at the same time. I've never taken crack, but I can't imagine it's easy, so fair play to him. And he's doing well, he's in 3rd position, so maybe something to be learnt from that. Maybe crack is the sim racing key. Obviously don't start taking crack and taking that seriously. Robert's the hood on his own. B-rated, let's see the gap behind now. Oh, he's definitely pulling away, so doing a really good job. Like I say, just needed that opportunity to get away from Ajax a little bit, and now he has. He's just able to relax and concentrate on his laps rather than defending. So getting a little bit spread out between these guys compared to what it has been. Still got Seawinkle right on the back of Mutt though. Completely different line, bit of a bad line there from Seawinkle to come out with any kind of pace. Fortunately he loses the pace a little bit on the exit there, and drops back a little bit actually because of that. See how Bale and Haz are doing. Every time I've looked, they seem to have a similar gap to them and a similar gap to the guys in front as well, so looks like they had a decent race but just couldn't quite get the pace out of the cars to be able to progress, which is very similar to what I had in the first race in my Viper. Just before we get anywhere near the end as well, just another personal little note. feel free to subscribe and like if you've enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing the whole season as well, so that way you'll get notifications, or you'll be able to see my videos a bit easier to see that I've put a new one up. And yeah, I hope you really enjoy these. I enjoy doing them. I've been doing them for a while now, but yeah, it's always good to come back to a new season and have the excitement back again, almost in a way. See what everyone's going to be up to, and all the new liveries and cars and everything else. It's refreshing. So thank you very much for sticking with it if you have done, and I do really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as possible, so any extra viewers or subscribers is always much appreciated. Winkle doing a really good job there of a bit of a mistake between Ajax and Mutt, and gets himself up into 6th place. Don't look like Ajax is going to settle for that though. He's trying the inside line, doesn't quite pull it off, has a bit of a moment by the look of it. Just had a little kick of oversteer, but nothing too big on the exit of T1. Good racing going on here though between Mutt and Ajax. I mean, Mutt had a really good race in race 1 as well. It might not have been right up there at the top, but really good racing throughout the race, and really good pace. Seems like a really good racer. He's a new guy to me as Mutt, so looks like a guy I'll enjoy racing against if I ever end up side by side with him or anywhere near him on track. So we're coming towards the end of the race now. There's not actually long left. This actually could be the last lap, I'm not sure. I think it might be actually saying that. So I'll give myself a bit of credit if it is. And if not, we'll skip up and watch the rest of the racing again. Got my highly Texaco highly liveried Texaco, however you want to say it. It is the final lap. NSX coming over the line in 1st. Proud of myself for that one. Edwin coming over in 2nd. Doing a really good job, Edwin there. Ginger Crackhead in 3rd. Another really good race there from Ginger Crackhead. Doing a good job to get up there from the start. Robust the Hood in 4th. B-rated in 5th. Doing a really good job again. Coming all the way from 12th place. Robust the Hood and B-rated right from the back. Winkle following him not too far behind in 6th place, coming over the line. Good job there from Winkle. Ajax and Mutt nearly come over the line together in 7th and 8th. Bales Tonovic comes over in 9th. Good finish in the end. Has 91. Couldn't quite get that battle finished off between him and Bales Tonovic, so he ended up finishing in 10th. And Rocky Rich, we see him as he comes towards the end of the lap to finish in 11th. So again, I'll just repeat myself again. Thank you very much for watching. I'm not going to finish yet. I'll obviously give Rocky Rich the respect of watching the last of his last lap. If you feel like promoting him anyway, or sharing my videos anywhere else that you might like, you might think people might like them, feel free to do that as well. I'm getting it all in there today, and all the plugs in there. Anyway, Rocky Rich doing a grand job, although a little bit towards the back most of the race, but still never saw him on the grass or have a massive moment, so still had what I'd class as a clean race. But there we go. Anyway, thank you again, and see you again soon. If not before, I'll see you next week for next week's replay videos. Take care, and yeah, see you again soon.